What's going on? Mitchell Renz, Harrison Graham. You're watching NFL Daily. Right now, we're going to be diving into the Justin Herbert destinations. We think we know the top 8 teams that could draft the quarterback out of Oregon. And the reason why we're talking about this, it's NFL Combine season, Harrison. We got measurements.
It's hand size, SZN. That's it's that time of year. Big hands, yeah, you know what that's all about. He measured in over 6'6", 236 pounds, hand size of 10 inches. Experts tell me that's a good thing. Arm length, wingspan, I don't think that really matters for quarterbacks, but we know this about Herbert. He's got the tools. Yeah. He's got the physical attributes that you're looking for in a quarterback. He's mobile. You like a lot of this stuff for Herbert as we go through some of his strengths here. You like his size. You like his arm strength. He's an accurate passer. And like I said, he's mobile. The problem is, do we think he's got the personality to lead an NFL franchise?
I think when you really talk about what you want in a franchise quarterback, because if you're going to draft a quarterback, I personally think Herbert's going to be a top 7 pick. You need to have it all. And the biggest thing that scares me about Justin Herbert is his leadership traits, okay? I think he's a good quarterback, but I think he's kind of got, you said it before in our live show, that Marcus Mariota where can he command a huddle?
And I don't want to do the lazy, Oregon quarterback comparison, but they're very similar personality-wise. They're quiet guys. Do they demand a locker room? Now, I'm not saying rookie quarterbacks come in and command an entire team right away. Very few and very special players do that. But can you be a leader of an offense? Like, a lot of stuff we heard coming out of Oregon is he's just not loud. People don't even know what he sounds like because he's very quiet. I like him. I would be weary drafting this kid in the top 5.
The only thing that I've seen that people say, well, he at least has a lot of playing experience, which he has. Not many quarterbacks have played 4 years of college football. Yeah. Yes, 2016, 2017 cut short because of injuries, but 2018, 2019, he did stay healthy. The 59.4 completion percentage does scare me, but you have a large sample size in Justin Herbert, which we don't have in a lot of quarterbacks.
Yeah, and he improved in that area this year. Keep in mind, too, Oregon's play calling, very questionable the past couple of years. They very rarely let him stretch the field, and when they did, more often than not, they were successful. So you wonder if kind of his outlook would be differently had the play calling been better, as it was, say, for some LSU quarterback.
Luckily for us, he does plan to throw this week at the NFL Combine. So let's hit you with this question. Who will draft Justin Herbert? Now, for those of you that are watching this on YouTube, you might get hit with an ad break. While the ad is playing, I want you to scroll on down. I'm going to make this the pinned comment on today's video. Who will draft Justin Herbert, quarterback out of Oregon? All right, Harrison, let's get in now to our top 8 destinations for Herbert. Number 8, it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They have the 14th overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft.
Yeah, and, we had them a little bit lower, but certainly a possibility. Now, I don't think Herbert's fallen to 14, so if they get him, they're going to have to trade up.
Yep.
The reason you kind of feel like it's a little bit of a long shot, too, what do they do with Jameis Winston? They've been linked to some veterans like a Phillip Rivers. We know he and his family moved back to Florida in the last month or so. But Tampa's a team that has to decide on what their quarterback situation is, and if they fall in love with Justin Herbert, then maybe they're a team that could trade up and draft the Oregon quarterback in the first round of the NFL Draft. Plus, if you want to bring him into a under-the-radar franchise, not a lot of people are watching Tampa, so that might be a place where he could flourish. I think that could make some sense. He's got the weapons there. You got Mike Evans. You got Godwin.
O.J. Howard.
Maybe they bring back Perriman, who had a nice season. You've got pieces in place. I don't think it's super likely, but I do think it does present itself as an opportunity.
I think they're number 8 on this list because Bruce Arians, what does he want? A lot of times he goes after the veteran quarterback, and at pick 14, I actually think the fit makes sense. However, with those things, that's why they're number 8. Let's go to number 7 here on our list. This one scares the bejesus out of me. New England Patriots at number 7. They do have the 23rd overall pick and 2 second-rounders. If they want Herbert, they got to trade up all that, and I don't even know if that's enough.
Yeah, you would probably have to trade all that and then maybe another second next year. I don't know if you'd have to do another first, but probably another pick next year as well. And you might have to throw Jarrett Stidham, who you drafted in there in the deal from last year, who they feel good about, but probably not, projecting to be a long-term answer in New England. Now, obviously, Tom Brady, they're going to try and bring him back, but look, Bill Belichick seemingly has drawn the line. Now, is Robert Kraft going to step in and take this thing over? I don't think Bill wants to pay Brady $35 million a year.
I don't know if anybody should want to pay Tom Brady $35 million a year. I mean, I think even him at this point in his career, he's about to be 43 years old in August. Last year was a little bit of a down year. But we saw last year, if you don't put pieces around Tom Brady, I don't know if he's going to be able to win football games.
And I'll say this, too. Herbert to New England.
The big game.
I think this could be disastrous for him because, A, the expectations of following Tom Brady, whoever that ends up being, are going to be off the charts. And we just talked about kind of his mental toughness and leadership, question marks. Is that a situation where he can go in and thrive?
Tom Brady, I will say this.
I don't know.
Tom Brady has won a few MVPs. Do you think Justin Herbert has what it takes to win an MVP?
Not in year one.
Not in year one.
But we got odds.
We do have odds. So shout out to the odds makers. BetDSI, great job. Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Tua. We already have 2020 NFL MVP odds. If you want to bet on Burrow, if you want to bet on Herbert, Tua, maybe you got some college loans you need to pay, you can do it at BetDSI. But if you do, go use our promo code NFL120. It's going to get you a 120% deposit bonus. Chatsports.com/bet. If you had to bet on one of those quarterbacks, who would it be?
It's got to be Burrow because that's the only one I know who is going to be a starter next year. Tua may not be healthy enough, and depending on where Herbert goes, he may not start in year one. So it's got to be Burrow.
See, for me, if I had those odds, I'm betting on Tua because he had the 25,000.
Just for the slightly better odds?
Just for the slightly better odds. If you guys like to bet on NFL draft, anything NFL related, do it at BetDSI. All right, Harrison, who is the best quarterback in this year's draft? I'm still going to stick with Joe Burrow. You give your answer, then we'll give a shout-out.
Yeah, it's Burrow, and the reason is his floor is still pretty high, whereas his floor is probably like peak Ryan Tannehill, where solid NFL starter, he can come in, and if you have the right pieces around him, you can win with Joe Burrow. And his ceiling is look, he's never going to be a Patrick Mahomes type where he's making crazy throws, but his accuracy's off the charts. And if you put him in the right system, he will have a chance to succeed at a high level. I think he's the safest pick, and I think he's got potential to be really, really good as well.
Let's move now to number 6. It's the Las
I'm gonna let you take
Vegas
this one.
Raiders. They have the 12th and 19th overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft. Are they willing to move up for Herbert? Because that's the question John Gruden and Mike Mayock need to ask themselves. If you do not think that Derek Carr is your future, and maybe that you do believe it's Herbert, maybe you give up pick 12, maybe you give up pick 19, because it's not Kaiser, it's not Mike Glennon, it's not Nathan Peterman. There's not a quarterback on here on screen. If you do not believe in Derek is your future, and you're going to Vegas, you got to at least tell your franchise, you got to tell your fans that, hey, we're trying.
I'm still a phrase from you. Are you rolling the dice for Justin Herbert? Because to me, if you're rolling the dice, you're doing it for Tua. If you're trading up, don't you go big? I just...
My other thing is, Raider fans are always like, oh, we should look into Herbert. I think a lot of times they say that because they saw him in Oregon. What's Derek Carr's biggest, flaw? He doesn't take risks, and we don't know if he can command a locker room or huddle.
Very similar.
It's kind of what you're getting with Herbert.
I think Herbert's upside is bigger than Carr's. He has a bigger arm. I think he's got more ability. He's more mobile, but I'm with you. They're too similar. If you're trading up, I don't think you do it for Herbert. Now, I'll say this. If pick 8, pick 9 go by, and he's still on the board, go from 12 to 10 maybe, trade number 12 in a third rounder, because you got 3 of them, that's a different story. That changes things, but I don't know if I can trade both my first rounders to go get Justin Herbert.
The number 5 team here for our Justin Herbert destination, it's the Indianapolis Colts. They have the 13th overall pick and 2 first rounders. Second rounders.
2 second rounders, yeah, and I think you could package that to get into the top 6 or 7, which is probably the range Justin Herbert's going to be. Look, Jacoby Brissett's probably not the guy. Maybe he starts next season and finishes out his contract. I don't think any of us believe he's the long-term answer. Colts fans and Jim Irsay, they can pray all day long that Andrew Luck's coming back. It's probably not going to happen. So this is what you got so far, and I don't think any of those guys are the answer. I know Brian Hoyer's not the answer, Mitch. He's been bouncing around forever, but you're looking to upgrade from Brissett because just 2 years ago, Mitch, this team was back in the playoffs with Andrew Luck. You feel like if you can get the right quarterback in place, you can contend. The problem is, can Justin Herbert come in and make you a contender right away? I think that's a fair question to ask.
Yeah, I'm totally with you, Harrison. All right, man. You ready to get serious? Here are our top 4 teams who could draft Justin Herbert. We got the Detroit Lions, the 3rd overall pick. This is fun. It's interesting.
I think this is peak.
We've seen crazier things.
I think this is peak trade down and draft Herbert. I don't think you draft him at number 3, but the Lions have been a candidate to trade down because they would love Chase Young, but he's not falling to 3.
Yep.
So do you take Jeff Okudah number 3 overall? You don't want to take.
So.
If you keep the pick, you do. But I would rather trade down and get extra picks than maybe draft a Justin Herbert, maybe draft a Tua Tagovailoa, let them sit behind Matthew Stafford for a year or two. Look, I think Stafford gets a bad rap. I think he's a really good quarterback.
Totally agree. He was on pace to throw for like 38 touchdowns last year and about 5,000
I think
yards.
he has been a really good quarterback for that franchise. But the reality is he's getting older, he's got back troubles now, and they're not in win-now mode. So maybe they're looking toward the future to bring in a guy like Justin Herbert.
I will say this, Harrison. The Lions, it's been a franchise that I think it's struggled a little bit. Fun fact about me, the first jersey I ever bought, I shouldn't say I ever bought, my dad ever bought me, was actually a Barry Sanders Lions jersey.
That's a good one.
So I want to know from you guys, what was your first NFL jersey? Throw it in the comments section. What about you? Who was your first NFL jersey?
Oh, man, what was my first one?
Patrick Mahomes.
No, yeah, that's the first jersey I ever got. I actually think it was a Ricky Williams Texas Longhorns jersey because my parents both went to Texas. My dad was a walk-on.
I see what your parents like.
At UT, so I think that was my first jersey when I was like 4 or 5, believe it or not.
Okay, so Ray Lewis from Jacob. Dalton Smith says Drew Brees. I have a Drew Brees jersey. Bo Jackson from Cadillac Frazier. Russell Wilson from Winston Shan. Beast Mode 24 from Auntie. Continue to let us know what was your first NFL jersey. And if you don't have any jerseys, I got you. Go to chatsports.com/NFL sale. Christian McCaffrey, Seahawks jersey. Shout out any jersey that you want. We can get it for you. Chatsports.com/NFL sale. Maybe you're not a jersey guy. Maybe you just want a t-shirt, a hat, jacket, sweatshirt. Got that too. You just got to go to the link. It'll be in the description. We'll put it in the comments section. Just click it. Best deals up to 50% off. Lamar Jackson. I think if I'd get another jersey now, it'd probably be Josh Jacobs or Max Crosby. But if it couldn't be a Raiders player, I might actually go out and get a Lamar Jackson.
I already got the Mahomes jersey. I'm good to go. But if you want a jersey, chatsports.com/NFL sale.
The number 3 team, it's the Carolina Panthers. They have the number 7 overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft. Kyle Allen, Will Grier, let's be real, not the answer. And what the heck are you going to get in Cam Newton? It's tough. I think it's really, really tough. And then you got a new coaching staff in Matt Rule. They need to win, but maybe they should tank. It's a tough situation for the Panthers.
Carolina's in a weird spot, but I think they're in a flexible spot, at least Matt Rule is, in the sense that I don't think he feels pressure to win in year 1. Now, I mean, you never go in, or rarely go into a season saying we're not going to win this year, but if you trade Cam Newton, that might be the attitude you have. I think if they got a first-round offer for Newton, they'd trade him.
Yeah.
Will they get one, though? I think that's the question.
I don't think you can. I mean, Cam Newton, his last 7 games, Harrison, hasn't thrown a touchdown.
He can't stay healthy, Mitch. And we know even if he's healthy in terms of he can play, is he healthy in the sense of he's the mobile dual-threat quarterback that we've all enjoyed watching the past 6 or 7 years? I don't know the answer to that question. Unless I know for sure that that's the Cam I'm getting, you got to look toward the future, and maybe Justin Herbert would be a good option. Again, not a team that's, super on the radar, kind of an under-the-radar NFL franchise. I think it would be a good fit for him in Charlotte to play for the Panthers, but they got to decide on Cam Newton first.
I wish I could tell the future. That way I could tell you guys what's happening with Cam Newton. But also, NFL mock drafts, it's kind of like trying to tell the future. If you love mock drafts, if you love the NFL draft, subscribe to Chat Sports. Here's our most recent video that we put out about the mock. It's about Mel Kiper's 2020 mock, where Tom and I, we just do a little bit of reaction. But subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the notification bell. The link is below. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV. We'll put it in the comment section for you as well.
Yeah, look, we're almost at 160,000. Got to subscribe. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV. Go ahead and hit that big red button.
Hit the big red button. All right, let's go now to the number 2 team here. Miami Dolphins, who are in the latest Mel Kiper mock draft. They have the 5, the 18, and 27 overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft. I understand the idea, the plan was to tank for Tua. But what happens if that preseason plan doesn't go the way you plan? What if Tua's not healthy? What if he's not even there? Maybe you could look at him Justin Herbert going to the Dolphins, and heck, Mel Kiper thinks it could happen.
I still think if you're Miami, unless the medical comes back and they're like, this is a major risk, don't touch him, you draft Tua at 5. I just think that's the play. Now, maybe someone jumps ahead of you and takes him at number 3 or number 4, but if he's there, I think you have to take him because he's got more upside than a guy like Justin Herbert. I would not take Herbert at 5 if I was Miami. Now, if you want to trade down,
even more picks.
7 or 8 and get even more picks, which Miami's tried to get every pick possible this year. That was their strategy until Ryan Fitzpatrick won a few games for them and moved them lower in the draft. I don't love the idea for Herbert in Miami. I know Kuiper mocked that recently. I think Tua fits in there better. Maybe he slides, Herbert does, and you trade up from 18. Maybe you package 18 and 27 to get to like number 10. But if it's Tua or Herbert, I'm taking Tua. That's just my opinion.
I'm with you. All right, Harrison. So who is the most likely to draft Herbert? The number 1 team on our list, it is the Los Angeles Chargers. They have the number 6 overall pick in the 2020 draft. Phillip Rivers no longer there. They don't have a lot of quarterback options. Plus, I mean, the 6th pick, I think it makes sense.
You want to go play in a low-pressure environment? How about in front of about 1,400 Chargers fans out in L.A.? That's as low pressure as it gets. I think that's a situation Herbert could thrive in. If Rivers isn't there, I think Tyrod Taylor could be a 1-year gap guy. Maybe you keep Taylor, draft Herbert, play Taylor. I would actually encourage that. Let Herbert sit, learn the system, learn how to play in the NFL. 2021, you got your starting quarterback. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think teams panic and feel like they owe it to their fan base to play these rookie quarterbacks.
I do think the Chargers are going to be a little bit worried. They are moving to that new stadium, SoFi Stadium. You gotta sell tickets.
You got to sell 26 extra tickets by playing Justin Herbert. Look, their fans don't show up. Is Justin Herbert going to make Chargers fans show up?
Maybe. Because what they're doing now is not working. So, number 1 team for our Justin Herbert destination, it's the Los Angeles Chargers. If you watched until the end, and if you liked or didn't like our video, I want you to message Harrison on Twitter at HGrahamNFL, and I want you to message me at MitchellRenz365. We appreciate every single person that watches till the very, very end. So if you did, it also probably means that you liked the video, so subscribe.